What's up guys, Col.Wilson here with another informative video about Bad Company 2. I'm going to talk about rockets in this one, and how to use them against tanks effectively. So, basically the way a tank works is, in the front, if you hit a tank in the front, it'll take a set amount of damage. If you hit a tank in the side, and you hit that projectile, whether it's a rocket or another tank shell, if you hit it at a perfect 90-degree angle, with the side or the back, then that damage will be multiplied by 2. And this is how that works. So this tank is at 100%, and this is the RPG. I'm going to hit it in the side. See how much damage it does. 44% health left. Now, it's quite a bit of damage. The RPG is basically the middle ground between all 3 rocket launchers. It does second most damage to tanks, and it's an unguided rocket launcher. And that's how much damage that does. Alright, so you always want to aim for the side or back of a tank, because even if you can't get that perfect 90-degree angle shot, it's still going to do more damage than it would if it were to hit in the front, because if you hit in the front, it's just going to do, you know, that set amount of damage that rockets do to anything. It's a 1 times damage multiplier, whereas if you hit it in the back or the side anywhere, it could range between more than 1, obviously, to 2. So this is what would happen if you shoot a tank with the RPG in the front. As you can see, that only did 28 damage. 28 damage is nothing that a tanker would worry about at all. He would just, you know, look for where the rocket came from, find you, blow a hole in the wall, kill you, and that's it. Repair, whatever, it's done. Alright, so now I'm going to talk about the second rocket launcher, the Col.Wilson. Most people are under the impression that just because that this is the second rocket launcher unlock, that it's better than the RPG, and this is not true. I hate this rocket launcher. I don't hate it because it sucks necessarily, because it's good against infantry. It has the largest splash radius out of all the rocket launchers. I hate it because people simply use it just because it's a second rocket launcher, and they don't realize that this thing does nothing to tanks. It does the least damage out of all the rocket launchers to any kind of vehicle. And now, this is how much damage a tank would take if you shot it in the side. It doesn't even do, like, over anywhere near, well, near 50%, but it doesn't, like, go past that mark. And if you were to hit it, and that was a direct 90-degree angle shot, if you were to hit it in another kind of way, it doesn't do that much damage to a tank. If a tanker's getting hit by the Col.Wilson, he's not going to worry about it too much, because he can simply hop out, repair, have his friend repair him, and it's going to be okay, because he'll just look for you, blow another hole in the wall, and kill you. So I would recommend don't use the Col.Wilson against tanks if you don't have to. If you see a tank raping your team and it really needs to be taken out, switch to a different rocket launcher, because it'll just make everyone's life that much easier. If you're running around with the Col.Wilson and you see a tank, obviously use it, because it's still a rocket launcher and it still does damage to tanks. But if you respawn with it knowing that there's a tank out there that you need to get rid of, you're just not playing the game right. Now it's time to talk about my favorite rocket launcher, the AT-4. This rocket launcher does the most damage to tanks, and it's guided, meaning you can shoot this thing, and as it's in flight, you can tell it where to go. So it's also effective against helicopters, because, you know, if you shoot your rocket at the helicopter and you notice it's not going to hit, you can just adjust the path, and voila. I always run with this rocket launcher, simply because it does the most damage to a tank, and if I see a tank, I want to be able to blow it up. So this is an AT-4 to the side of a tank. 41%. That thing almost did 60% damage to a tank, and this is without, all this has been without the explosive damage upgrade. So if a tanker gets hit by one of these, he's going to start shitting his pants, because he knows, you know, he's in for some real shit. The first thing a tanker would do when getting hit by one of these is not the typical blow a hole in the wall and kill you. He will probably hop out and try to repair his tank, or he would back up and get the hell out of there. So this is easily the most effective weapon against a tank. Alright, now for the final demonstration, I'm going to use the AT-4 with the explosive damage upgrade, just to show you how effective this thing is against a tank. Let's arm it, aim at the tank, and go. 26% health. That's almost 75% damage to a tank, and that's with one AT-4. If you have 2 guys, with an AT-4 and you see a tank, that tank is pretty much gone. All you have to do is shoot both rockets. It could probably be anywhere. It could probably be against the front too, and that tank is just gone. Because these rocket launchers do a lot of damage. So if you're going to be going up against a lot of tanks, please don't use the Col.Wilson. If you want to use the RPG, but you should probably be using the AT-4 the most, because this thing just eats tanks for breakfast, pretty much. And that's it. Actually, before I end this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about tracer darts, because not a lot of people seem to know how to use them. If you're going to use a tracer dart, I would recommend using the RPG with it, because obviously you're using the tracer dart to destroy a vehicle, most likely a tank, and like I said before, the Col.Wilson is not the best option to use. So all you have to do with the tracer is you shoot the tank, then you'll hear that cue that tells you that the tank has been traced. Hide, because this is the benefit of the tracer. See, now you see that red box, you aim at it until you see the numbers. Most people think that, oh, you just aim at the red box and fire, but that will just result in the rocket just going off in whatever direction you shot it. You have to wait until you see the numbers, and that will tell you that it's locked on. Now you can pretty much aim anywhere, and it will follow that trace. Like that. And the tank is gone. And that's how you use tracers. So have fun.